What's going on, people? Edison Cavani has signed a new contract. El Matador has strung his bow or his arrow straight into Solskjaer's office, and Solskjaer has made sure that Edison Cavani is going nowhere and he'll be playing up front next season.
Hello and welcome to the RedFlex Live, brand new Man United channel where we do match reviews, previews, transfers, everything to do with Manchester United.
What's going on, everyone? It's the news that the world, maybe not the world, but all Manchester United fans have been waiting for. Edison Cavani has signed on that dotted line for another year. What we understand is that he'll be on the same wages as he was before, but he's pending an extension for 1 year to stay at Old Trafford. And MZ, it has been a very, very long time since you've been on the RedFlex. What's going on? How are we doing?
I've been good, and yeah, it's been a long. I've missed being here.
Yeah,
and, I've been good, trying to stay safe and not. Yeah,
no, that's the most important thing. But let's get straight into your reaction of when you saw that tweet. I think everybody's seen that tweet online. Mr. Romano, who confirmed that Cavani signed the contract. What was your reaction?
I was outside, like driving, and then I parked somewhere to wait for somebody, and I was just going through my phone when I saw that tweet. And my first reaction was, I just boom.
You started doing the Cavani celebration.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is it's like majority of the Manchester United fan base was not happy when we signed Cavani.
I think we had that initial discussion, didn't we? And everyone was like, "Oh, last minute signing, panic signing. We don't know what we're doing."
Yeah, and then fast forward now, and it's like
we can't live without him.
It's breaking news, and everybody's happy. Literally, it's what everybody wants. So, and this just shows what kind of player he is. Like, everybody doubted the signing, but then he went on to prove what kind of player he is and records that he came to United with. And that's the kind of players that we want at our club. Players that will doubt, but then prove us wrong. That's the
you know what kind of sums up it all for me, MZ. You know, when I was watching the Aston Villa game and I seen Cavani peel off like to just outside the box on the left-hand side. And as soon as he was just standing there, I was like, this guy's going to die. He's going to make a run into the box. Are we going to find him? And we did find him. And it was a beautiful header. But I don't know if you remember when the Cavani transfer was first announced, MZ. I was probably one of the few people, including yourself, where I was saying, this guy is a serial striker. He is a proper striker, something that we don't have. A lot of people used to say, "Oh, he misses too many chances. He's not world class." But do you think he's proven those fans wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anybody watching, from us United fans and to the rival fans, I think everybody has seen what kind of a player Cavani is, what a good player he is, and he's proven most people wrong. Because even the opposition were like, "You're signing a 34 years old striker and you're bragging like you made a signing." But then the number of goals he scored, how he scores them, just shut everybody up. Like, literally, he shut everybody up. Because I was watching the game with my cousins, and the moment he took Greenwood off for Cavani, I was like, "Oh shit, Rashford is gonna move to the right now." And I hate it when he plays on. I hate it when he plays on the right. But then my eldest cousin was like, "No. How is it tactical?" And he said, all he knows, he has Cavani up front now. Now with Rashford on the right, he doesn't get to shoot. He doesn't get to like dribble past players. So the only thing he can do is just.
It stops him making the mistakes.
And I was like, okay, you got a point there. And I was like, yeah, because when Rashford plays on the left, he'll want to cut into the right and take a shot, you see, or take people on. But then on the right, his only option is just swing the moment Rashford picked that ball. I was watching Cavani, literally, like you say, I was watching him. And that guy's movement, man, it's elite. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, you see, as a defender, you're expecting him to make dummies, like he fakes a move, but then comes around your back and makes a move around your back, and you're looking for him. He's nowhere to found. You only see the ball inside the net.
The funny thing is, the Aston Villa defender didn't. I think it was called Conjure. Is it Conjure? I think it's called. He didn't even know that Cavani was there. He peeled off from their right back, which I think was called Matty Cash, and he just stealed in, put it into the back of the net, and 75% of the Aston Villa defenders, they didn't even know that Cavani was there, and he's put the ball into the back of the net. One thing that we're forgetting as well in all of this, MZ, is, and I put it as the title of this video, we're going to discuss Cavani in a little bit more detail, but where does this leave Anthony Martial?
Personally, I think it's up to him now. I mean, it's how he takes this. Like, I think the other day when we were having that Martial debate, remember, with
Yeah. Oh, I remember the Martial debate. Do you think some of the things that I said are true now?
Yeah, they are. And I remember saying that day, like, the problem with Anthony Martial, he has this attitude that he else comes in to give him competition, then he gets grumpy and just doesn't play to his best. Just like when Zlatan came, and that's how he went. Okay, I was, and there's a guy that came on and was defending Martial, saying, oh, during when Zlatan came, he was moved to the left, so that kind of hindered his progress as a striker. And I'm like, wait, so if he's moved to the left, that doesn't mean he should just down his tools and not give it his all and give it his best. Because right now let's talk about Greenwood, because Greenwood has been moved to the right, but he's still giving it his all, and he's just comes up with the goals. So having an experienced striker, an old and experienced striker, that doesn't mean like you take, because he's not gonna be there forever. Cavani is there for just one more year. So you look at it and like, after him, people are gonna be looking at me.
Do you think it'd be fair to say mentally he's not the strongest? I think as United fans, we know that, and sometimes that's forgotten about.
Yeah, and somebody was saying, I don't know, Martial's overall game is good. The only problem is the goals, but his overall game is just okay. And I'm like, you're a number 9. Your first priority should be scoring goals.
No, absolutely. You know, one thing as well that I realized, MC, is when Martial first started, how many times did we see Martial like take people on, and he was dangerous with the ball? But it feels like he's lost the art of, or he's lost some confidence that he's not even taking people on anymore.
That's the point. If he wants to be like that player that takes the ball and takes people on, I think that is best suited for the left side then, more than the striker. Because look at Cavani, he's not the most skillful of players, like or two and get past you. His pace is not like, he's not the fast, he's not a Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
But then his movement, he knows his strength is his movement. He knows that. And he makes sure that all his teammates actually know that this is my strength and you have to play to my strength. When Bruno plays with Cavani and when Bruno plays with Martial, 2 different players, it's like 2 different Brunos. I've noticed we play with Cavani up front. Bruno doesn't take shots from outside the box nowadays.
Yeah.
He's more one-touch passing. Yeah, he's just, it's like a lot of, I mean, Bruno was carrying us here, but then with Cavani and Pogba back in the team, it's like they're helping him now. So he knows that he doesn't overdo stuff now. And that's the good thing with Cavani now. But then that game against Villa first half, Cavani wasn't in the team. We'll go with the ball outside the box, but nothing. We'll literally create nothing.
Yeah,
then that guy comes in, and he doesn't only give you that movement, but then he gives you an option, like, and then his dedication and desire to work for that team. There's a time he committed a foul in our own half.
Yeah,
that just shows you how hardworking this guy is. From a striker,
did Cavani not actually? He saved a goal as well from a corner kick where he actually headed it at the back post. And there's countless times that we've seen him.
Yeah.
No, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
Just to focus it on, obviously, I think it's fair to say Martial's, you could say, career not in jeopardy, but a lot of questions are going to be asked about Martial in the summer now. But if we focus it back on Cavani now, it depends on his attitude. No, absolutely. If we focus it back on Cavani, do you think next season Cavani will be able to keep up this form? Because this form is he's riding a real wave of momentum at the moment, and he's looking good. It seems like he's fit. He seems like he's hungry. But next season, what Cavani are we going to see, Emza?
Better. I hope so. Like every United fan. The fixtures won't be everything. So the fixtures are congested, and we've had to rest him for a couple of games. So probably next season won't be so congested. So even if we'll rest him, but he'll get more play time. Plus, if quality players, like players that can create, so I'm expecting him to go on this form and continue scoring goals.
So just before we wrap the video up today, obviously, I think all Man United fans are very, very excited that Edison Cavani has signed on the dotted line and he's going to be at Old Trafford for one more year. And the fans might get to see Cavani as well, because I don't think the fans have actually seen Cavani play for Man United, obviously because of lockdown. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to, especially Bruno as well. What kind of reaction? Because I think he's going to be loved. But that's a separate thing. But next season, obviously, Cavani's staying, and this is my final question for you on today's video, MZ. Do you think we still need another striker next season?
No.
So we don't need Kane and we don't need Haaland.
Signing new contract gives us first choice striker. Okay. Then we have Martial and Greenwood. So that brings competition for that position. And competition is not, because Cavani is automatic, he's starting. So competition is between Martial and Greenwood right now. And if Martial knows, it's there, I'm sure it's in the back of his head that if I mess about, Greenwood is taking this second choice striker position. He knows it's in his head. Okay, right now, if you ask me, it's Cavani, Greenwood, Martial, if you ask me.
No, I'd agree with that. I was talking to my mate, and what I was saying to him was, next season, what it should be, obviously, Sancho, I think, probably is going to come next year. But in my opinion, I think it should be Cavani or Greenwood up front, and that should be a rotation. And then on the left, it should be either Rashford or Martial. I don't think we can, us as United fans need to accept that Rashford and Martial in the same team is no longer compatible for Man United. So it should be Rashford or Martial on the left, Cavani or Greenwood up front, and then on the right, it should be Sancho, and then supported by Diallo and Dan James. What do you think?
It just hit me, because if we do not sign a CDM next season, well, that left side too is going to be a problem for Martial, because Pogba is going to be playing that position.
Pogba's there as well.
With Rashford in that left side, so.
But I don't think Solskjaer will play Pogba on the left when Martial comes back. I don't think he'll play him on the left. But then, can you trust him as one of the DMs?
Needs to step up.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
In short, he needs to step up his game if he really wants to play for United and be a success. He needs to step up his game and change his attitude towards competition and everything. But then, just before we end the video, I'd like to to talk about Ole a little bit. I know you're supposed to go for iftar, but just a few more points about Ole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I personally am one of the people that actually the right man, and I think almost every United fan at some point questioned if he is the right person. That aside, this season, what that guy has done, I mean, he deserves credit. I'll tell you, he got Dean Henderson to stay and give Dean Henderson. He's not. I don't think he's done anything wrong. He's made De Gea sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Then seeing that game against Roma, seeing how De Gea, how good De Gea was. So that's a tick for Ole.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Looking at Wan-Bissaka, yeah, I was looking at Wan-Bissaka against Aston Villa, and my God, I see massive improvement going forward.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
about
is definitely an improvement. Nah, that I'll be honest. Like going forward, there seems like he looks a little bit more energized than he usually does.
Yeah, and I was looking at him, and I told somebody like, when he doesn't actually have a natural right winger to actually help him. So imagine this: if we get a proper right winger who can actually help him, make those runs, ask him, okay, you overlap, I'll pass it. Right back. I still believe he's young enough and he can still improve and be better right back. And all I think he's only gonna go get better and better and better. Look at Luke Shaw. There was a time we all thought, okay, he's done.
Yeah,
He's done at United. But then yesterday that, and everybody was like doubting whether United again. But then Sir Alex stood by him and gave him his support, and he came back and became the baby-faced assassin. Same with Luke Shaw, he came back, said, hey, you got injured, but that doesn't mean you're not good enough. You are one of the most talented young English left back, and everybody was talking about you once. So let's see if we can get you to be that again. And boom, the best out of Luke Shaw, and he's the best left back in the Premier League. Centre back, I think looking at the stats Maguire has this season, I think he's fast. I mean, that's a positive. I mean, as much as we criticize him how slow he is, from last season to this season, there's an improvement with Maguire. And then look at Lindelof's. I understand. I almost every game, but then something else. I mean, the way he picks Rashford out from the back is, he just needs to work on his defending a little bit. But there's an improvement, okay, in that back line. In the midfield, Fred. Nobody thought Fred will ever play for United and actually be, player that we depend on.
I still think there's a few people that don't want to see him in the lineup though.
Yeah, and then you look at goal scoring wise, credit Ole. You look at Paul Pogba. I had somewhere like somebody close to Paul Pogba saying this Paul Pogba is playing his best football, better than he played when he played with the Pirlos and the Vidals at Juventus thing. And I think he's right. I mean, this season he's been something else. You look at Bruno's signing; it's his signing. That guy is work rate and get want to win things, to actually get better stats than the one he has right now. It's just something else. And then you go to Marcus Rashford. This is the second season when all the other previous managers doubted that he could.
Yeah, I think in terms of his output, I think that's 2 seasons, like you said, 2 seasons in a row. I think it's 20 plus goals. Yeah. So we can't ask for any more from Marcus Rashford, really. I don't think there is another level that Rashford can go to.
Exactly. And then he brought in Greenwood into the wing, and I don't think he'll develop better under any other manager. Then you look at I think 27 goals, all competition this season.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Yeah.
he's just, I think he's just. I look back, the last player to actually do that in games. In Cavani, and Cavani is doing wonders. Question him, his substitutions and everything, but then he's got us from here to here. We've progressed under Ole. That's something that is clear to see. Arteta and Lampard are better than him, and he's outlasted Lampard. He's and can't win a trophy, and Ole is in the final, and we are second in the league.
No, definitely. I think I have to agree with you. I think there's a lot of things that Ole has done right, and maybe he hasn't got enough credit for what he's done in terms of his job. But the problem is with the problem that he has, and it's a problem that's never going to go away, is the fact that Manchester United have a certain expectation. Yeah, the last 6, 7 years haven't gone the way that we want, but Manchester United will always be Manchester United, and it's a way of others outside Manchester United. The way that they can downplay it is because they can say, "Oh, second in Europa League, you're happy with that." But the context is that's not the full context, because you need to remember what kind of team Solskjaer took over and the problems that he's had to deal with once he's took over. And like you said, obviously he's improved, Maguire. He's handled the goalkeeping situation. He's handled the Paul Pogba situation. He's handled the introduction of youth. He's handled the Fred situation. So there's a lot of things that Solskjaer has done right, but those kind of things, they're not really openly, you could say, discussed in the mainstream media. But I definitely agree with you that Ole has done a very good job, and I think he deserves a chance next season again to try and win even the big trophy, and that's the Premier League.
That's what Somo was saying. Somo was saying, like, what's the definition of best manager? And I'm like, you say Alex, he didn't have this career before he came to United where everybody was looking at it and it's like, okay, that's a city with a good record, He came in and Sir Alex had his trouble. But then looking at history, but then he didn't build that team overnight. It took time, and I think Ole deserves, with what he's done so far, I think he deserves more time and more backing by the board, and we see what he can do.
No, we'll see. We'll definitely see. I think as a whole season, regardless of the Europa League, whether or not we win that, I know there's a lot of media pressure for Manchester United to win the Europa League, but as a Man United fan, I'm not that too bothered of whether we win the Europa League. I'm more bothered about the progress that we see in the Premier League, because that's your bread and butter. You have to be the best in your country before you can be the best anywhere else. But I think we're in the right position. As you said, his first full year, we finished third. His second full year, we finished second. If he gets a trophy, that's a bonus. And then next year...
too.
What's that, sorry?
And we're better off point-wise too. We finished that season with 66 points.
More points, less defeats. So I think as a Man United fan, we're in a good position to look forward to next season. But I'm going to pretty much wrap up today's video. Just to recap, El Matador, Edison Cavani, has signed a new contract at Manchester United. He will be at Old Trafford for 1 more year. And if it is the first time that you are watching the RedFlex, make sure you do like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will be back for the reaction for Leicester versus Manchester United. But MZ, thank you very much for coming on. It's been a long time coming. We will do it again soon. Apologies for anybody for any sound issues that you might have heard. We'll be working on that for next time for sure. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll all see you soon again.